So I'm glad to be here to share with you that what we are doing and our brand, what Mirrorland is, and how do we try to recreate this kind of game and make it more story generating engine. In the meantime, a complete business model to put that to work in China. And first, I'm gonna start to introduce TRPG. I believe many of you must be familiar with that, or at least you have heard about maybe Dungeons and Dragons, because it was it used to pop up in many TV shows like the Big Bang Theory and the Community and Stranger Things, etc., etc. So basically, TRPG is sort of a game that requires 3 to 6 participants. One of the participants will be play as the game master, and the rest of them will be play as the main characters in the game. So the game masters set up a stage. They're sitting around the table, and the game master set up a stage for the main characters to take adventures in them. The game masters gives the players what sort of challenges they are facing, the characters, the stories they're gonna face in the whole adventure. And in the meantime, the players are able to take almost anything that's reasonable, all the different sorts of actions to resolve the questions, the problems they face, and to push the storylines. In the meantime, the game masters will recall to the core rules and scripts the truth behind the story to give them feedbacks. So because it's a communication between people and people, so the responses can be almost unlimited. So the merits of a TRPG is obvious that people can create all these different stories by communicating with each other, but the drawbacks is also apparent because you have to take your character sheet, write down all your character skills, spells, how many spells you use in a day, and your mana value, your inventory, and everything like that. And at the same time, when you play that, right, you need to change the abilities, inventory manually and frequently all the time. So I realized there are many tools, online website tools like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds happening in the US and Western market. But for Chinese people, it's more like a mobile thing. So most of the Chinese, they rely on the mobile, and even I think more than half of them doesn't have a personal PC, doesn't have a personal computer. So under this circumstance, we decide to create a application to help TRPG spread in the Chinese market. So our idea is this. We let the system kick in to resolve all the tedious works that you need to calculate the weight of items, manage your spells, your mana value, things like that. We combine them together. This is the idea we come up with. Mirrorland. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, I'm gonna introduce a little bit of that. What of the apps, the softwares we have programmed, and how does it work to make the whole business model happen in China? Firstly, is the mobile app. We created the player mobile app so the Mirrorland players. Before that, I need to say that we also create Mirrorland core rules. It's a TRPG rule, but it can be applied in video games, in or lab games, or even immersive theater, things like that. So everything has something in common. From that a mobile application, the core rules are also specially designed for mobile user experience, and players can use this app to manage their character sheet, everything they have accumulated from previous games, like what scripts and adventures they are able to join, and also in the meantime, who have they traveled together with, and what sort of NPC they have met in the previous games. This is how it looks. The next one is the mobile app for game masters. Game masters is a different story because they needed to take the scripts, usually like in the traditional TRPG game, right? You need to buy scripts like this. This is a one script from Dungeons and Dragons. The tangible stuff, you buy them and you have to prepare all the different stories. The old school one also has its advantage because it makes you immerse a bit more. But here in the Mirrorland, we focus on the portabilities. So game masters can carry the application with them, like all the appointments, the items that I customized for my game, and the scripts, my favorite characters, the ones I want to use in adventures, and everything else like that. The next part is my favorite part. We also created a script editor where people can write down many different sort of scripts, mainly for TRPG, but they can also do murder mystery and LARP games as well. So the script editor, here, the content of it can be exported to the Mirrorland application with a very friendly interface and user experience. Writers here can create their characters, their items, their events in the script, and everything else like that. It can be a very useful tool to prevent privacy as well. Here we get more than 50 business scripts here and more than 200 UGC scripts as well on our ecosystem. The booking system, actually, since 2017, the Chinese immersive market has been rising very significantly. Like immersive theaters, like murder mystery, LARP, live action role-playing games, things like that. So we start to wonder if we have all these apps ready and content and our own IP, why don't we start to kicking in the offline market and try to open some Mirrorland stores? Make it more like a one-stop service. Here people can just join the store and they don't have to find other players, other game masters, or they don't have to learn the rules themselves. Just start them very quick. Give me a sec. Yeah, so I will continue from here. And then we start to create the first software to help us complete the offline experience, which is the booking system. Customers, it doesn't matter if you have known about the TRPG or any rules or anything you need. You can just book our game on our booking system in WeChat, a very mainstream communication tool in China. It's like WeChat is like Facebook or WhatsApp in the Western world. So here, the booking system, you can find your favorite game masters and your nearest stores and just complete it. And when the time arrives, you can just go there and start a game straight away. After having the booking system, we start to realize, since all the experience through Mirrorland need to going through the Mirrorland applications and booking system, why don't we just take that advantage, use it to complete the management system? So under this case, our store managers and game masters can check the repurchase rate, activation rate, and anything similar, the big data collected by the application, so they can know how they improve their the experience they provide. This is the management system looks like. Yeah, here is the complete Mirrorland business loop. And then tools are not everything. Even we have tools, the IP and the content is always the key. So here we created two main Mirrorland world views, world settings. It's like you start from a core rule, and then it comes to words, and then it comes to scripts and specific stories. So like the world is like a Marvel universe, but under Marvel universe, you will have your Iron Man, Captain America, and Spider-Man character stories like that. So the two we focus on, because we found them has a potential for user generating content to be created, because they have quite a high tolerance for different sorts of stories. And this is the first one. Forgive me, I need to read this out because the creator of these two worldviews say if you want to introduce them, you introduce them right. So this is what they give to me. The supernatural supervision, our first worldview, SS for short, is built in a modern world with supernatural forces. You are authorized as a special agent of SS, a secret organization funded by the United Nations. So actually here we want to rejoin the different countries all together, so it makes us easier to go overseas. With the mission of protecting human society, you need to explore the truth behind the numerous paranormal incidents and fight side by side with your peer agents, while facing a heated scramble for supernatural resources among nations and governments. So this is a more modern genre, and you can fight the supernatural forces and unveil all the secrets behind beneath the cities. The other one is more like a mix of Western and Eastern fantasy together. It's built in a fantasy world with magical machinery starting between the divine and demonic space, called the Bevendela world, or BW for short. Being an adventurer, you can travel on the Bevendela continent with relics of modern technology and the internal disruptions of religion and nations. Heroic experience is gradually in the making while you walk into different stories: Magic Academy, airship fight, robot wizards, legendary creatures, etc. So in this world, you are not restrained by the strict common world rules. You can just to finish your illusion or fantasy, do the things that you actually really like use magics and try to research some technologies. In the meantime, as I said, we got that UGC ecosystem. Players and our game masters and writers are also able to use the tools to create more different world settings, like cyberpunk, wuxia, or any other modern or ancient world settings as they want. So we also have many different things for our players or in-store customers to experience. I'm gonna make this quick. Yeah, so basically nowadays, we get more than 10,000 offline in-store players, and in our previous 1 year. The first store has only opened for, I think, 1.5 years from 2020. And now we are picking up at a rate of 500%. And I think there will be more and more Chinese and overseas people, players, adventurers having their Mirrorland avatars and exploring all the different fascinating worlds. So this is the story of us. If you want to discuss more about Mirrorland, you can chat later in the Q&A session, and also you can send me email. So this is my email address here on the screen. And that's all. Thank you.